Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I interview the great Aaron Mendoza from Bank of America. We have a lot of things in common. Great conversation, great insight for small business owners, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, Dr. B here. Are you struggling to get rid of stubborn fat but don't want to have plastic surgery? 111 Spa and Aesthetics non-invasive slimming massage can help you get the body you always wanted. 111 Spa and Aesthetics can also help you when it comes to cellulite treatments and body contouring massage. 111 Spa and Aesthetics offers a full range of skincare services, including facials, acne, scar treatments, skin tightening, microdermabrasion, and more. 111 Spa and Aesthetics are trained professionals with extensive skincare experience and utilize only the best equipment possible. For more information, please visit their website at www.111aesthetics.com. That's 1-O-N-E-11 Leven spaaesthetics.com, located at 10 East Moonachie Road in Hackensack, New Jersey, 07601. And to make an appointment, don't miss out, 201-520-1777, 201-520-1777, 111 Spa and Aesthetics.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show, Season 4. I'm your host, Dr. B. I'm here with the great Aaron Mendoza. Aaron, how are you?
Hey, Dr. B. Doing great. Thanks for having me today. Great being on live with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Recorded end of the year. It would air at some point in first quarter of 2023. As they say, Q1 23. So happy holidays to those in advance, right? So let's jump right into it. Tell everyone about yourself.
Yeah, happy to. So I'm originally from Central California, first generation born, U.S. born, Mexican American, raised in a small town that is actually the raisin capital of the world. I know in South Jersey we have a blueberry capital, so I kind of interesting little fact there. I married my high school sweetheart. We moved down to San Diego. While I was there, went to San Diego State, lived there for 6 years. That's where I started my profession in banking as a teller. And then in 2010, took a leap forward in my career, moved to Plainsboro, New Jersey, where I kind of launched my career path in the commercial banking space. And then just a little bit personally, love to play golf. My wife and I are big Call of Duty video game enthusiasts. We'd be remiss if I forgot to share a common interest that Dr. B and I have, a big WWE fan.
That's right. Huge pro wrestling fans, right? So, my whole life, 35 years plus. So
yes, and it's important to say how many WrestleManias you've attended.
Oh, for sure. Definitely at least 18 going on 19 coming up this next year. It's crazy. They should make a documentary about me instead of Vladimir.
That's right.
Sounds good. Which segues to my next question. So you did go to San Diego State University with a degree in public administration. How did you think the degree and experience help you shape you into the person you are today?
Yeah, so my degree was around public policy. I really had this mindset that I wanted to go into the public sector. For me, my mindset was secure workforce, secure career, and working in the government. For the government, kind of check those two boxes for me. So one of my most memorable classes was a professor. He was a high-ranking city official, and the premise of the class, we would show up. We would read the newspaper and we would talk about it in class and how policies, impact local citizens, decision-making, politics. So for me, as a young 20-year-old, that really, started to connect the dots between government, community, the impact policies have. So that was the biggest, that class alone, was a huge takeaway, an eye-opening experience for me. while going to the university. And then, of course, I worked part-time as I was going to school. So didn't have a lot of time to get out and surf and lay out on the beach. I think that's a common theme that people think of when they think of San Diego. Oh, you must have just, been on the beach all the time.
Definitely a misperception there for sure, right? So you mentioned something regarding, how you wanted to make an impact, and as far as with the citizens, some elected roles are paid or unpaid, but it kind of segues into my theme, my next question in regards to volunteerism. So, which has helped you and me professionally and personally, right? So, tell me about what you do with the Convoy of Hope and Kingsway Church and with the Cherry Hill Soccer Club, and why is that important to you?
Yeah, so happy to elaborate on this important topic, personally and professionally. To start personally first, for me, volunteering is important and kind of aligns with my faith and my journey. I kind of made a personal decision in 2015 to be a Christ follower, and I feel like I'm honoring Him and being more like Him when I give my time, my talents, my resources. So that's kind of in my fabric, and kind of what motivates me when I wake up to be a servant in my community. A little bit about Convoy of Hope. They're a disaster aid and humanitarian relief services organization serving impoverished neighborhoods along with needy populations. A lot may be familiar with Red Cross. They do a lot of very similar work, and in some cases, they are the first responders. It's an incredible organization. If you haven't, I wasn't aware of the organization prior to a couple of years back. So if you haven't heard of it, I would recommend looking it up. They do a lot of great work. So I partnered with them and Kingsway Church on a missions trip. Actually been out to Eastern Europe 2 years to serve in refugee camps. So serving Afghanis, Iranians, Syrians, and it's part of the education process. What a lot of people don't know is that these refugees, a lot of them are middle class citizens. They have degrees, they're educated, and the situation, the war situation, the religious or political tension situations that's taking place in the countries, unfortunately, forces them and their families to leave. So, it's, great experience and certainly kind of heart-wrenching at the same time to experience that, but just, love on those people, serve that community, has been a great personal experience. With Kingsway Church, I've helped in several different aspects of the ministry, not only on day of service, on Sundays, but even organizationally and things related to finance and things like that. And then for Cherry Hill Soccer Club, I'm a board member at large. My wife and I coach our daughter's soccer team. I think we're just over 5 years in now. So that's been very rewarding, and coaching Blue Lightning is the name of the team. And then on the professional aspect, I'm also a coach or leader for our employee network that we have here at Bank of America called OLA. And, we're working on professional development for our 1,200 members, as well as community impact. It's kind of like my second job that I love doing and representing the Latino community that we have internally. And then I just want to add, being a board member or taking on a leadership skill that's outside of my day-to-day job, I mean, it pays dividends so much more in return. The things you learn about an organization, how decisions are made, how to provide input. For me, I'm always the quiet one in the room for the first, couple months. And then after I understand everything, then I can, articulate kind of areas of opportunity and strategy and all that. But certainly a lot of the skills related to my professional development I've learned outside of my daily role. So hopefully for anyone listening, if that's not a journey a step they've made, would highly recommend it.
No, 100%. I have had other guests on my show, and yeah, 100%. I'm a firm believer of volunteerism, because volunteerism, it has helped me, like you, pay dividends, both professionally and personally. Right. I volunteered for Hispanic Business Council Scholarship Foundation, which led to for Hispanic New Jersey, which led to the Chamber, which led to partnering with HISPA, which led, for some other stuff for Hispanica. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity. And volunteering does help with networking, but most importantly, it helps, like you said, right? Helps the cause, but at the same time, helps build your leadership, qualities and build your skills that normally you wouldn't build outside, during your day to day, right? So which segues into my next question. Everything kind of, the way I ask these questions is very strategic, right? So you come from the banking world. You spent 10 years in business and senior relationship manager before coming to Bank of America. How did that experience help you into your role today and your previous experiences prior to coming on to BOA?
Yeah, so I'm very proud of my experience and my career path and trajectory, because starting in banking as a teller and then working my way into the commercial banking segment, it doesn't happen all that frequently. It's kind of like someone in the plant manufacturing makes their way up to C-suite or head of sales director, right? But the learning that takes place along the way, as a business specialist, I've opened accounts for businesses that are literally just coming. The paper's still warm from their business certificate that was printed at the local county office. Their business documents are here, and we're setting up accounts. We're setting up credit cards, and then I'm visiting them at their business side and talking about marketing. And so from the startups to established businesses. So my career path, I was doing startup to up to 2 million, working with companies, zero revenue to 2 million. Then I elevated to the business banking segment, working with companies 2 million to 20 million. That's where I got kind of my exposure and feet wet with more, SBA lending, conventional lending, and also real estate, investment real estate, which, by the way, is a very common way that business owners and wealthy individuals kind of build their wealth. So taking all of that into now the space I'm in with Bank of America, working with companies up to 50 million, in some cases even a little bit larger than that, talking about the more complex products. But I every time I go into a place of business, I can envision and imagine where everything started, and just have so much appreciation for all the hard work that goes into building a business. And I feel like connecting those dots has made me become a greater banker in the market.
Love it, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you answering that. And that kind of segues into my next question, how you help small business owners. And with my role with the Chamber, how that's very pivotal, right? So New Jersey, as you know, is a home to over 120,000 Hispanic small business owners, right? The Latino GDP was 97 billion in 2018 in New Jersey, larger than Hawaii, right? So, but however, despite that, there's still a lot of challenges, right? And I don't have to tell you, right, in regards to Hispanics getting access to capital and access to knowledge. Like, what do you think we could be doing more as a community in order for them to have that access? And I know folks, whether it's improving their credit, whether it's establishing credit, whether it's secured cards, whatever it is, like, what do you think we could do in order to make that change? I know we only have half an hour. I know we don't have the solution now or here, but there's a lot of suggestions, a lot of, but what do you think is your opinion?
Yeah, well, Dr. B, you're right. It starts with, financial literacy, and that should also be available in English as well as in Spanish. I think that there's room for improvement on that front across the board. And I think financial literacy, that word gets thrown out maybe too loosely now. And I think specifically what that means is I'll take a crack at it. What I think that means is it's educating business owners so that they can make sound financial decisions to increase their likelihood of getting borrowing or capital for their business. I think in one sentence, it's probably like that was what I could come up with. I have to agree with what Lizette shared on your podcast a couple months back, and that's with growing the community. And I know you do work with that, hands-on with Statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Happy to share that we've even partnered together with the Let's program specifically, and we've done other workshops together. The resources, are there. Everything's at our fingertip these days. I think there is an obstacle with the Latino culture. We're prideful people, and raising our hand for help is not our first, inclination. So I think, we're getting better at overcoming that stigma, but growing as a community, leveraging our networks, it is going to play a big role. I know happy to share, Bank of America has great resources, bettermoneyhabits.com, for personal finance. And if you click on our small business tab at bankofamerica.com, there's resources on there as well for small business resources on the right-hand side, you'll see on that website. And then just a brief testimonial is to a growing network. So my brother, he started a kind of side hustle and preparing tax returns while a professional. That graduated into him joining a CPA firm as a partner, building a book of business. He then decided to leave that firm and start his own CPA practice. And the success that he's had is largely driven by the connections that he made while working as a professional in the marketplace, from working at several different not too many, but a good amount of different corporations. And his success is so much so he can retire in his mid-50s if he wanted to. Now in that profession, being a business owner, it's hard to turn it off. I don't think he'll do that, but just a testimonial. And I'm sure Lizette shared it. Others will have shared it, that they attribute a lot of their success to their network and the help and the advice.
Nah, great point. Yeah, it all starts, with the community. It all starts at home, and then from there, yeah, definitely 100%. It's about the network, right? Do you want to promote your product or services to your target audience but don't know how? Do you struggle with social media marketing and management? Do you have challenges with lead generation for your business online? Well, look no further. Get More Clicks Media helps with SMS, MMS, and email marketing. Also, social media marketing and management, video marketing, lead generation, brand recognition, SEO, e-commerce, and website development. For more information, please visit getmoreclicksmedia.com. That's getmoreclicksmedia.com. So as a follow-up question, how important do you think it is for a small business owner to have that support, right? I've been there where it's very lonely in the beginning, right? Like when you work for a corporation, right, or organization, you have your finance department, your HR, your marketing, and then everyone's in their silos. Some are, some aren't, but it's a big organization, right? But when you're on your own, unless you start out the gate with a handful of folks, you're by yourself, right? So how important is, one, the support system, and two, a network like the Hispanic Chamber or a Prosponica or Alpha or National Black in order to support you professionally? How important is that to you, or you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the support, it could be the difference if you whether you make it or not. The community, the connections, is really, can really make or break on how a business owner, gets that client, reaches that market segment, and the thing is that things are constantly changing. Business plans are constantly having to evolve. And I know you've had individuals on share and how they've maneuvered through the pandemic. And so continue education, continue networking to get that support and advice is crucial, in my opinion.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for that. Just segue into your current role. So tell us what you kind of alluded to it now, but what do you do now as the VP of Senior Relation Manager, as a VP of Senior Relationship Manager at Bank of America?
Yeah, so I work with private companies, generally between 5 million and 50 million in annual sales. The types of industries include manufacturing, staffing, trucking, government contracting, engineering services, other professional services, IT firms. And then to give a little bit more conversation, insight on the conversations I'm having, that kind of speaks to the position. I could be talking with a client, on a strategy for a new building purchase, business acquisition, equipment investments, succession planning, cash management tools, international currency strategy, fraud protection, you name it. So trade terms with vendors and clients, of course, working capital. Happy to share that, I decided to pursue this career when I was a teller. I had somebody come in and say, "Hey, this is what I do for the company." And I said, "That's what I want. I want his job." Very passionate about what I do. I love what I do, and I love helping and advising clients. Feel very fortunate to be in the seat that I'm in.
No, amazing. Speaking of clients, so how important is it for an entrepreneur to be organized, with a line of credit, access to capital, having a buy-sell agreement in place? I think what it comes down to is access to knowledge, right? But once you have that access to knowledge or mentorship, or whether you score or the SBDC or the chamber, right? How important is it for an entrepreneur to be organized when it comes to those things that I just mentioned?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's crucial. And as a business owner, you have a lot on your plate. And so, I have some words of wisdom to share at the end. But in my, 17 plus years of experience in sitting down with business owners, looking at portfolio segments and whatnot, I think many people would be surprised that on average, maybe 30% of business owners are actively borrowing funds. A lot of companies don't need to borrow because of the way their cash cycle is for their business. So it's important that a business owner knows what their cash conversion cycle is. And basically that just means once you deploy a dollar into your business, how long does that dollar take to get back into your checking account with profits? For companies that have inventory that they hold on to and have trade terms where it's going to take 30 days, 60 days plus to receive payments from clients. Those are longer cash cycles, so they need to be smart about how they manage their working capital. So that's number one. Now, with that being said, I always say that a business is one phone call away, one client away from doubling or quadrupling in sales size. And that can happen at any given moment. So you do need and should be prepared for that pivotal moment in your business where you have an opportunity to take on a very large project or market share or what have you, whatever the case may be. So you'll want to have your finances in order. And I just want to say that when you work with your tax advisor, you want to have conversations, yes, plan for your tax strategy that best suits you, but also keep in mind that when you're looking to borrow, lenders are looking at profits to service your business debt. So the other end to that is, you're likely going to have to pay taxes to showcase a good borrowing capacity for your business. Oh, and then really quick from a buy-sell agreement, I think that's an important aspect that you've identified. business agreements when you go into a contract with a customer or a vendor. Have those agreements in writing. They protect all the parties involved. It mitigates your risk, and it mitigates loss exposure. So, handshake deals are great, and I know Latinos are vulnerable to those, but you can protect yourself, protect your livelihood, your family by getting agreements in writing.
100%, whether it's with the customer or buy, sell amongst your partners, make sure you have all that in writing, right? And how that all plays out. 100%. We're winding down. So what do you think, what is one piece of advice you could give to a small business owner today? If you had them all in the room, like what would be that first one piece of advice you could give to these small business owners?
Yep. So I would say create an advisory board. Have an advisory board that's very diverse with background and skill. Have your team, your banker, your CPA, your attorney, and maybe even a coach of some sort, someone in marketing. If you have those professionals in your corner, it's going to be hard to fail. And I have a Proverbs for that. So Proverbs in chapter 15, it says, "Without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed." A lot of for those that may not know, Proverbs is a book in the Bible, and many of them written by King Solomon, who would do circles around Bill Gates' wealth, and is arguably, one of the historical figures that had just a plethora of wisdom, and he put a lot of his thoughts in writing for us.
Love it. Love the Proverbs. Where can people find more information about you if they wanted to connect with you further and maybe explore some opportunities for their business?
So I can be reached on my email via email, aaron.j.mendoza@bofa.com. That's the best way to reach me. My cell phone, 856-296-3696. Also available there. Happy to connect via LinkedIn as well. If I can make any introductions for you or any of your peers, Dr. B, happy to do so. And, happy to answer any other questions, but I do have a question for you before we close out.
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead. Shoot, as they say.
So you have over 14,000 followers.
That's correct.
On LinkedIn.
Yes.
So how long did that take you? And is there a particular year where that grew at its quickest rate?
Yes, that took me about 10 years to kind of build that, because LinkedIn, as you know, it's been around for 10, 12, 15 years, however that. And I used it very early in my previous life at Berkeley College, right? Shout out to them because they gave me the opportunity to build my network for 10 years, right? So it took me about 10 years to kind of build that, 10 to 12 years to build that. And is there a particular time that went up? Probably, I would say within the last, believe it or not, the last 2 or 3 years. It really spiked up. And it's because I put a major effort into connecting with meaningful folks that are part of that could add value to me, but also my ideal clientele. So both, both folks that I could partner with, and also folks that could be customers down the line with me. So I would say the last 2 or 3 years. Wow.
Well, hey, it's inspirational. Everyone I speak with that knows you loves you.
Thank you.
So, and I feel glad to just get to know you, that we've connected. And I know there's a lot of great work I see us doing together in the community. One last thing, I was just looking at my notes that I don't want to forget mentioning.
Sure.
Is that in what I've observed thus far, I think, I was at a recent seminar that Merrill Lynch did talking about generational wealth. And I think, it's very difficult. It's more difficult to build generational wealth outside, without being a business owner, without being an entrepreneur. Going the W-2 route, it's great. You build great skills, but in more cases than not, you're not going to have, the wealth opportunity that business owners do. So I would say to anyone listening that's a professional or a young professional, college student, and you're thinking and you know that you want to be an entrepreneur, but maybe you need capital, you need more skills that you need to fine tune. Going into the professional world, developing skills, building up a savings, leveraging maybe even a 401k, a portion of 401k, all of those things I've seen people do and be successful going into the professional world and then transitioning to the self-employment sector. So, I thought it was important to just kind of share that observation that I've had so far, and that it's really never too late. My wife and I, even in our mid-30s, talking about how we can go that route, starting the conversation. So, just wanted to encourage anyone that may be listening around that.
No, absolutely. That's very inspirational. Final word. So thank you, Aaron Mendoza, everyone from Bank of America. Thank you for being on my show. Thank you so much, sir.
Has the pandemic changed the way you prospect today? Do you struggle prospecting for new leads for your business? Do you have challenges and don't have a process when networking at an event, either virtually or online? Well, look no further. Borja Consulting Group's Transforming Your Way to Success online course is a solution. In this 8-week intensive course, you will go from networking novice to networking guru. As a bonus, 2 coaching sessions with Dr. Jairo Borja himself are now included in the course. Don't miss this amazing opportunity to transform your pipeline, increase quality leads, close more deals, and transform your way to success. For more information, please visit our website, www.borjaconsultinggroup.com. That's www.borjaconsultinggroup.com.
Hey everybody, Dr. B here. I hope you enjoyed that amazing interview with Aaron Mendoza, especially if you're a business owner. I think it'll be great for you guys to take that action and grow your business, take that business to the next level. See you next time.